How's it going, everybody? Ubaldo Diaz here, your tech trainer. Today we are going to focus on REMINE, and as we start doing new webinars and new videos and training for you guys this year, we're going to start talking about different software. So even though we highly focus on Command because it's our in-house software, we're going to start looking outside the box a little bit. And the reason for that is that there are other tools out there that you could use in cooperation with Command. And one of those tools, and we're going to focus on that one today, is REMINE. REMINE is a service that it's out there. It's utilized by most MLS services, and it's available to you. It's a great tool when it comes to farming. And if you don't know what farming is, you're probably really new in the business, or very young, or both. And farming was a strategy that we used back in the day when I first started in the business of hyper-focusing in one area of business. So today I'm going to show you in REMINE how I focus on certain areas of the city of Chicago to farm and try to generate business. So as we look at this stuff and we move into REMINE, you're going to see that we're going to talk about all the little nuances that are out there and how well this system works to get you all that stuff. The first thing we're going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and clean my slate here. I have a whole bunch of filters on here, and I want to make sure I give you the full experience of what REMINE does and how it works. So this is how we're going to do it, okay? And how it's going to work is that I'm going to apply a whole bunch of filters in order. Now, the nice thing about this is that it's recorded so that you guys can rewind if you guys miss something, because I tend to speak a little fast when I'm doing stuff. So let's get started, okay? The first filter that I apply, and it's right on the top next to properties, is that I'm going to apply the filter that says that it's off market. And the reason for that is that as realtors, we shouldn't be prospecting to properties that are listed, and we probably don't want to spend money on properties that are already listed by somebody else that are probably going to be sold, especially in this market. Very few properties are getting listed that don't sell. So let's focus on this. So we're going to take all the properties and we're going to make sure that we select the off-market one right here. There it is. And it's going to filter out all the properties that are listed or in the MLS somehow, right? Either pending, under contract, expired, something like that. We want to focus on stuff that has not been listed, stuff that's off the market. So how do we do that, right? So it's off the market. And in Chicago, in the Chicago metro area, there are 1.7 million properties currently available to go after. Of course, we're not going to spend that kind of money, right? So let's hyper focus and let's pick an area that we want to work on. And today I'm going to choose my office area. I'm going to choose Oak Lawn. And the way I'm going to do is that I'm going to search by zip code because it's easier, right? I want to get all of Oak Lawn, so I'm going to do 60453. And I don't want just a zip code. I want an actual city within that zip code. You see, 60453 dips into other suburbs and stuff like that. And what I want is Oak Lawn, right? Because I want to hyper focus on that area. So I'm going to go ahead and click the little map on the side. And it's going to apply the filter to Oak Lawn. Now you're going to see that it's loaded. And it has these little bubbles right here, right? These are how many properties. These are called clusters. Cluster properties, and this is based on this vicinity area right here in Oak Lawn. There's about 8,000 properties available. There's about 11,000 over here, 5,000 over here, and 980 over here somewhere. In total, there's over 25,000 properties or more in the Oak Lawn area that are off market right now. We're going to keep drilling down, right? Because number one, I don't want to send out 25,000 plus postcards every month. You see, farming is a consistent marketing piece and value, which means that it's something you're going to want to do every single month. The only way farming works is if you do something every single month. And by that I mean it's either going to be a postcard, a flyer, a door knock, something. Something has to happen every month to this farm. This farm needs to hear from you every single time. It's just like farming, right? That's where the term comes from. It's just like farming. If you water your crops, if you fertilize them monthly, daily, weekly, you will get a crop at the end of the season, right? At the end of the season, you're going to cultivate whatever it is you're farming for, right? In our case, we're trying to cultivate buyers and sellers. So how are we going to filter down? The number one thing I do is that if I'm going to pay for marketing, I want to sell a certain amount of value, right? The property has to cost so much, because then I'm counting on expenses and stuff like that, return on investment and all that good stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm not going to pay for advertising for a property that is worth less than $250,000. Now these values are subject to. That means that you can decide to apply whatever filters you want. You don't have to apply any, right? This is what I do when I am farming and when I'm paying for postcards. And my value is a minimum of $250,000. Yours could be $100,000. Yours could be $50,000. I know people that say, I don't care. They could be worth $5. I want to go and list that property or buy it. So I'm going to say $250,000 minimum. There's no max. I don't care if the house is worth $1 million. I'll sell that any day. I just don't want it to be worth less than $250,000. So that brings my results down from 25,000 plus to 10,000 plus. That's still too many. So then I'm going to look at home equity, because this will show me the buyers, the sellers that will be able to move up, right? So we're talking about, if I sell a house in Oak Lawn today and I decided I'm going to move, let's say, south to like Orland or Tinley or Homer Glen, Lockport area, right? I have enough equity here that I'm going to be able to move from this house to the next one without an issue. So here we go. And then what I do here, and this is all subjective, right? You could put whatever value you want in here or no value at all. My value is I want them to have at least $75,000 in equity. It's a good 20% down on something, right? So think about what 75% is 20% of, right? So here we go. So now I'm down to 6,300 properties. That's still too many. I'm not sending out 6,000 postcards. I'm not door knocking 6,000 houses, right? I just got to be honest with myself. That is not going to happen. Ownership of time. NAR statistics say that the average homeowner moves every 10 years or so. So the average person lives in their house at least 10 years before moving. So I'm going to say that I want people to live in their house for at least 11 years. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive than NAR. Now, there are still 1,100 people that have lived in their house. So right now, in Oak Lawn, in the whole city of Oak Lawn, there are 1,100 people that have been in their houses 11 years or more, with equity of $75,000 or more, with a property value of $250,000 or more. This is super cool, right? I mean, think about it. The amount of money, real estate money, that's available in one little city. All right, so let's keep drilling down, because obviously we want to make sure that we're really, really getting hyper-focused here. Sales score, I don't trust it. I don't like it. I don't use it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Absentee. I'm not, in this particular case, I am not advertising to investors. I am advertising to homeowners. I want people that own their properties and live in their properties, because those are the people that I know have a better chance of moving and selling. Investors, I have a whole different mailing program for them. I do have a list for absentee owners, but in this case, what we're talking about right now, it's farming for sellers. It's farming for long-term business. So I'm going to do owner-occupant. Then I'm going to go down to building type. Whoop, here it is, building type. And I'm going to do single family, condos, townhomes. There's not a whole lot of multifamily in Oak Lawn. There is a little bit, but not a whole lot. But I'm going to go ahead and select it. The other is all that other stuff, mixed use, commercial, all that stuff. There is a whole different marketing for those. I am not marketing to commercial clients right now. I am marketing to residential homeowners. So I'm going to hit apply. We are down to 986. And now you're going to tell me, okay, so these are all the filters that you use, Ubaldo. What are we going to do now? Well, there's one more filter I like to use. And this is a newer filter, and it's based on public record, but I like to use the mortgage age filter. In the mortgage age filter, what I like about it is that filter is going to tell us how long they had that mortgage. For example, if that person has lived in their house for 11 or more years and have an equity of $75,000 or more, More than likely, they probably didn't refinance. And if they did, it was probably a long time ago. But what I'm looking for is for them to at least have a mortgage age of 2 years. If they did refinance it, let's say in the last 3 to 6 months, there's a very low chance they're going to move. Because if in the way the market is right now, if they were going to move, instead of refinance, they would have sold. But they didn't. So I'm going to say I want the mortgage to be at least 2 years old. Again, you notice I only use minimums. I don't use any max. I just want the bare minimum. And as you can see, my thought was exactly correct. These people have not moved at all. I mean, it's the same amount, 996 people. There's no need for them to finance. They have plenty of equity in their house. So the next thing is, okay, so Ubaldo, now how do you filter down from those 986? Well, in my case, because I'm from Oak Lawn, I'm going to filter my area, my neighborhood, right? So I'm going to zoom in to where I live. And if I go over here to around 52nd Avenue and 95th Street, this is where our family lives. I'm going to back up a little bit just so I can get a little bit more map in here. And maybe one more time. Here we go. So, oh, went too far. Sorry. So this is the area where our family lives, right? So my daughter went to the Oak Lawn Hometown Middle School. So we know this area very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these drawing tools over here to draw an area of which I am willing to do business in, right? So I'm going to move over a little bit. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties today. So I'm going to take the rectangle drawing tool. And we're going to go from this area to about this area right here. And now that I have my rectangle drawn in the area that I want, the filters applied, I'm going to go ahead and take, so there's 120 houses right there. That is very doable. I can work with 120 houses. I can. I like it, right? So now that I have my area, now that I have everything that I have here, right? So we're looking at, I got all my filters in, I got my off-market status, I got all these things in there, I got my rectangle, and I'm at 120 properties. These are very good prospects. I love it. So now we're going to go ahead and create our list. So if you come up here to right next to map in the upper right corner, you're going to see the word list. You're going to click on it. And then REMINE very intelligently is going to take all those properties we liked, all those 120 properties, and put them in a nice list for you. Once they're in the list, right to the left of address, there's a box. You might be able to see or not be able to see it, but it's right here. You click on it. It's going to select all 120 properties. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cart them. Now, I don't know why they call it a cart. They could have called it a folder. They could have called it anything else, but they call it a cart. It's okay. You're not buying anything. Not yet, at least. So you go cart. And I'm going to type Oak Lawn. I'm going to say fam, right? Because this is where my fam lives. Oh, sorry. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And then click on it right here so that you create it. Boom, created. And then I'm going to go ahead and add those to that cart. Now, once it's added, you'll see this little green box, success, right? All right, so let's go. Once they're added, come to the left menu over here, and you're going to go to the fourth one down, and it's called carts. And there it is. It's the very first top. So every time you create a new cart, it goes to the very top of the list. And then now we're going to go over here, and all these things that we've been working on, we're going to go ahead and then create everything that we have here. And it's very simple. So how do you do your farming, right? I have my 120 properties, and now I know exactly what 120 people I'm going to reach in Oak Lawn every single month, either with a postcard, a flyer, or something. Now, this is ideally how it should work. Every other week, you should send something or deliver something. Remember, a lot of this stuff doesn't have to cost you money. You could, work at it and actually go there, and you could be able to do it for free. Door knock, walk the neighborhood, right? Like, so this neighborhood is my family's neighborhood. I could walk that neighborhood all the time. I know everybody in the neighborhood. I could go drop off something. I could let them know when the baseball season starts, where, Oak Lawn is big on Little League Baseball. Cheerleading, I could let them know when the Outlaws football is going to start, stuff like that, right? So there's a lot of things you could do, not necessarily postcards, but postcards are very easy. And REMINE makes it easier because now that I have my list, right to the left of notes, you click on that, and now it's going to select all 120 properties. Now I have two options. I can export my list, so bring it out to an Excel sheet so that I can upload it to my CRM and do whatever I need to do with that. Or I could use it so that I could go to a different service and do my postcards or my flyers or whatever they do, like Prospect Plus and all those different ones that they do. I personally like the REMINE people because the cost is fairly inexpensive for the amount of postcards I'm going to send, and they already have pre-made templates, and it's all right here. Like I don't have to export or import or anything. Everything is right here for me already. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say send mailers. And if I click send mailers, and you got to name your campaign. Now, normally I name my campaign depending on the month and year so that I know what I'm sending. Because when I get the invoices, and I give them to my accountant, he knows what it was for. So I'm going to say, let's call it like mailing 4-2022. So it's my fourth mailing in 2022. Build my campaign. Now, if this is your first time using their product, it's going to ask you to do like all the first steps, like upload your picture and all that good stuff, your logo, all that stuff. You could skip it and then just go through it and then do it as you go. But, sometimes if you pre-set it up, it's easier. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of things. For 120 postcards, printed and mailed and delivered is only $84. Super cool, right? That's almost 50 cents. That's a little bit more than 50 cents per postcard. That's less than $1 a postcard. Now that's for the little ones, right? I like to do the big ones, or like the half sheet ones. So I'll do the 6 by 8.5, and it's only $90. It's still only It's still only like what is it, like less than 9 cents a postcard? I'm sorry, 90 cents a postcard or something like that. Less than $1. I mean, it's 120 postcards for 90 cents. I mean, do the math. Sorry, I'm recording and stuff, so doing the math right now is not going to be easy for me, but it's less than $1. It's like 75 cents or something like that, 80 cents. This is all of their postcards. They're already pre-made. Like, don't get super involved in the graphics and what it looks like. It's the message you're trying to get across. They're already pre-made. However, if you do want to fully edit your postcard, there is an option for that. And if you want to upload your own graphics, there is an option for that. However, I just like to do, like, for example, the general farming one. I just do that, and then what I'll do is that I'll come down here and I'll pick one, and I'm looking for sellers, and I'll do this right here, right? I'm going to go personalize it. It takes a second, be patient. And here we are. Look at this. So we're going to set it to the mailing address. Yes. We're going to do it to the homeowner's name, Ben Smith. And then you could pick your colors here. So obviously I don't want to do cold Remax colors, so I'm going to do it red and black. I'm going to refresh my preview so that I know what it looks like to make sure that I do like those colors. I guess it's okay. Not totally a fan. How about black? Oh, there we go. Now they do have like the brands here, so I think there's a Keller. Yeah, there's a Keller Williams here. So you could do Keller Williams if you want to. There it is. Look, these are the colors they have for Keller Williams. The green. I mean, it's just part of the design. Again, don't get too involved with that. Okay, next. And then here, obviously, I didn't upload my logo, but I can, right? So if you have it on your computer, go ahead and look for it. Let me see how quickly I can do this. Logos. Now remember, you always have to have your brokerage in there. So make sure that if you're doing a logo, that it is including your brokerage in there, right? Because you do have to advertise your broker. So you see my logo is pre-built with the KW logo. That way I cover my branding practices and I don't get in trouble with the state because somebody's going to report me, right? Company's full name here. I'll do Keller Williams lead. That's me. That's my cell phone. And I'm just making something up. There's not normally what I type. Or maybe you could say, I'm not going to do any offer. Or maybe I'll say, right, maybe we'll do that. Obviously, I don't have my picture in here either because I've been slacking. I should probably update my profile and just have everything in there, right? Yes, I know. And I know I have a picture in here. There it is. Yes, that's fine. Yes, that's fine. Refresh my preview. Right, I'm not gonna fill in all these bullet points. You guys could go in there and fill out everything. Let me see if yeah, okay, there. Let's see, column delete, blah blah blah. 4751, 45656. All right, so then I'm gonna say. All right, so this is what it looks like. Let me see if I can show you what it looks like. Maybe the next. I'm gonna show you. I want to see if I can show you what it looks like. All right, so it's not letting me show you what it looks like right now. Let's see, can I do it this way? Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. All right, so I'll show you in a minute what it looks like, so you guys can see what it looks like. I'll show you. But for now, let's finish this up because so I'm gonna hit next. And then the next part is what it's gonna do is gonna validate the address, right? So mailing 422. I'm gonna say yeah, next. And then what it's gonna do is gonna give me the pricing and all that stuff that we need to do. So it's gonna validate all the addresses. I like that part because it doesn't mean 120 addresses might not be actually valid based on the post office and how they changed it. You know, sometimes there's extra numbers when they build houses, they'll knock down a house and stuff like that. It changes. So they're gonna go ahead and analyze it, see how it is. Make sure that they're deliverable, so you have less things being returned to you. And then let's see here. So it's working. And normally it doesn't take this long, so there might be a lot of bad addresses or a lot of good addresses, one of the two. We'll see. All right, so here we go. This is, you got to be patient for this kind of stuff. I'm just saying. So here we go. Okay, so 84, 100. So all 120 are good. It's going to cost me 84 bucks. 70 cents a postcard is what it comes out to, right? So let's see if I can show you the proof. I'm going to see if I can show you the proof here. All right, here we go. Okay, so here's your proof. Right, that's the front. My logo's there. All of my information is there. We're going to go to the back. Here's all my info. Everything's done. Look at this cell, and then obviously you get to fill in the bullet points right here, and then the people's address. You see, well, it's even giving me one of the people's names on here, so I can see what it looks like. And here, call me, go online, blah blah. So all the good stuff is in here. My name, my license number, all that stuff is good. So I am good with that. I am good with that, and then I would just click design approved right here, and go to the next page, and then you would go ahead and pay for them. Let's close this out. So that is it. So when we talk about the different things that there's there to do with the REMINE, it is super simple. Now this is in our YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe. We're gonna keep adding more videos this year with all new software. We're gonna talk about Google My Business. We did a training earlier this month. It's went really well. Now the challenge is gonna be if all those people that were in class, if they doubled their reviews on their Google Business page. So hopefully we'll do that. So we'll do a follow-up class to that, but I'm going to do a training video just for Google My Business so that you guys can get started. So if you want to join the second follow-up class, you can, because you'll be able to do it. So there's going to be Google My Business, QR codes, Google Forms, more command stuff, obviously, and then obviously I want to hear how you did with REMINE. So once you go ahead and watch this video, once you put it into practice, come back and in the comments tell us, how did you do? Did you get calls? Do you get a good feeling about the people that you're selling to? Do you think that it's working for you? I want to know what's working. I want to know how, so that I'm able to help you guys out and further your career in real estate. So I'm looking forward to helping you guys out this year. And it's a hot market. Take advantage of it. Farming works. Be consistent.